Lieutenant.
Frisk him.
I'm clean.
Frisk him. Oh, Counselor. Looks like I'm going to have to give you a badge and put you on the payroll.
Hey, why the cuffs? I called you, remember?
Yeah, that's right, you did. Forget the jewelry.
I kept my bargain. You going to keep yours?
I already have. I told you I'd listen to your story, that's all.
I should have known better.
What was Bronson doing here?
He wants me to reopen his case.
And that's why he broke out of prison?
So he says.
And I suppose he gave himself up just because you asked him?
Well, as a matter of fact, he did.
Wasn't Eddie Rocco tied up with this somewhere?
Well, you've got a good memory, Lieutenant.
Yes. I had a special interest in Eddie Rocco. When I finally broke up his protection racket, I got my first promotion. He's still serving time.
Tell me, do you know any reason why Eddie would have wanted to kill that silversmith?
Counselor, if you're planning to reinvestigate a case that's been dead and buried for 10 years, then do me one favor, please. Try it without my help.
Lieutenant, it'll be difficult, but I'll do my best.
I knew you'd drag me into this somehow. How is she?
Just a flesh wound in the right arm.
Oh, she's lucky.
Did you follow my suggestion?
Yes, I sent out 2 men to guard Paul Kansky, but I did something, Counselor, that you didn't think about. I sent out an all-points bulletin to pick up Joe Rocco.
Well, you think he did?
Eddie's in jail. That only leaves Joe, who's anxious to get rid of Stella.
Somehow I never thought of Joe as a killer.
Well, that's what some people said about Dillinger. Why don't you go back inside, Counselor, and I'll have a look around out here.
Okay, Lieutenant.
Mr. Maris? Yes. Eddie Rocco was with Pete Mills the night of the murder.
Are you sure, Mrs. Steiger? This is very important.
Yes, I'm sure. I called Pete at the Silver...
We'll work it out, Stella.
Yes. We'll work it out.
Excuse me, I'm leaving a man here.
That won't be necessary.
Your taxes pay for it. You spending the day, Counselor?
Save your bad temper for Joe Rocco.
Don't worry, there's plenty more where this came from. Come on, Counselor, we've got a date with another clay pigeon.
Good night. Night. Someone tried to kill Stella this afternoon. 2 policemen are guarding your place right now. We're on your side. Will you be on ours?
We know you saw Eddie Rocco at 9:30 on the night of the murder. We have a witness.
I've lived with the terrible guilt for 10 years. You're right, Mr. Maris. My testimony was a lie. I saw Eddie Rocco that night.
Then you perjured yourself at the trial.
He forced me to lie about the time. He forced me to phone the police at 10 when he would be at the precinct establishing an alibi.
Why did you do it, Mr. Kansky?
Eddie was going to kill my wife if I didn't. Eddie Rocco would have done it. I had no choice. What further punishment can anyone give me now that I haven't already given myself?
Picked up Joe Rocco coming, Counselor.
We called off the men guarding Mrs. Steiger and Paul Kansky.
Good. Well. Little Joe Rocco. Finally made the big time, huh?
Lieutenant.
You were just a kid of 17 when I got my hooks in your brother Eddie. You know, I thought you were going to stand on your own 2 feet, but I was wrong.
Lieutenant, it wasn't him.
What are you talking about?
Well, we ran down his cab for speeding earlier. He gave us some trouble, so we put him in our car.
So, what's the point?
So he was in our car when Mrs. Steiger was shot.
What's this talk about a shooting?
Someone tried to kill Stella Steiger.
You're kidding.
I was there.
And you thought I did it?
I figured you were looking out for Eddie's interest.
Well, I guess I just stopped.
What does that mean?
Funny how you put your faith in people and all you get for it is a kick in the teeth. You want to know who took that shot at Stella?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. It was my brother Eddie himself.
Eddie's in jail.
Is he? Phone the warden. You'll find out Eddie got out on parole yesterday morning.
What?
Like the dope I am, after Mr. Maris visited me, I phoned Eddie. I didn't want to see him get mixed up again in that Stan Bronson mess.
Send out an all-points bulletin for Eddie Rocco. Inform every precinct, every cop on the beat, every patrol car. I want Eddie picked up alive, but I won't argue. Why wasn't I informed that Eddie Rocco was paroled yesterday?
There's a report on your desk, sir. You hadn't been in. Yeah. Call for you on your private license.
Lieutenant Weston.
She's gone, Lieutenant. Stella's gone. She left a note. It says, I don't want to hurt you. It's best this way. Well, that's all she says. What are we going to do?
Stella's disappeared. She's taken a powder. You send us a picture and we'll broadcast her description, and don't worry, we'll find out. I hope. Letting on the loose, I wouldn't give you a plug nickel for her chances, sir.
You're very optimistic.
Well, I'm as much a realist as she is an escapist.
That's it, Lieutenant. You've hit it right in the nose.
I have?
Stan always found her every time she ran away. Now, it's a long shot, but it's worth a try. Do you mind if I talk to him?
Oh.
Drop the gun, Eddie! Let's take